Hey everyone, it's Jessica Michaels here with another cherry challenge for you today, where a few of my scrappy friends and I play along with the cherry challenges over on the Cherry on Top message boards. I have chosen the Grab 5 challenge today, and I'm working in my memory planner. So I am going to be using the Simple Stories Spooky Things collection along with these stamps by Tim Holtz and a whole bunch of stash diving today. So the Grab 5 challenge features a list of items that you need to use on your project. I have chosen rub-ons, a cut-apart card, a Halloween embellishment, a chevron pattern, and also stitching. So I'm going to be using some fake stitching today, not real stitching on this one, but it still counts. So I am just pulling out various stamp sets from my stash. I have a ton of stamps here, and I'm just pulling out a whole bunch of them that I'm going to be using on this layout from various people and companies, and I am just going to do a lot of stash diving and use this newer collection by Simple Stories called Spooky Things. And I'm mainly using this sticker sheet from that collection because I don't want to add a ton of bulk to this album. This is a new format for me. This is my memory planner that I work week to week with, but I really hop around on this project and I'm so all over the place. I just kind of do whatever week inspires me at the time, and I keep track of my journaling as I go. And this is a new format. I've actually grabbed this happy planner from the Cherry on Top website. It was on sale, and it's a different format that I'm used to. It's more of a vertical layout. You can see each day is in a vertical design going up and down, and I'm used to using a Heidi Swapp Stop the Blur planner, which is a not vertical but horizontal layout. So I did run into some difficulty with this layout and just getting used to it, getting used to the sizing. I actually printed my photos in a photo collage or a couple photo collages on 4x6 paper, and I printed them with an outline in the collage, which is what I normally do when I have like a grid photo collage, but I shouldn't have printed that with the outline because I realized fairly quickly that my photos were a little bit smaller than my boxes because of that outline that I left on there when I printed, which is normally what I do. But for this, I kind of wanted my boxes filled out, but it ended up working out to my advantage because I ended up being able to add a lot of the pretty patterned papers from the 6x8 paper pad from this collection and bring in a little bit more color. I really wanted the Wednesday to shine on this spread because it's very dark and it's really the only color in there is like a purplish color, and I really wanted to kind of bring that to life to this layout. So that's how I was inspired by the Wednesday little photo that I have there. I am obsessed with that show. It came out, their new season came out back in September, and I binge watched all of it pretty much in I think 2 days. And I just love it. It's one of my favorite shows on Netflix, and I just really enjoy it. So I thought this spread is just going to be kind of focused on that as my main event here, and I'm just going to build it around that. I'm going to use some Halloween colors and just kind of go with the flow. My son actually broke his arm, and this was his follow-up appointment to get his real cast on. So they have like this really cool new technology now for casts. He didn't get the typical hard cast that, you know, gets dirty so easily. You get to pick a color, whatever. He got this really cool new technology type of cast where they actually have to heat it up in an oven for about 5 minutes, and then they mold it to his arm, and then you can actually remove this cast and take it on and off so that he can shower or bath. And if he gets it wet, you can still dry it with a hair dryer. You can clean it. It was so nice. So the things that they were coming up with in the medical field today are just so amazing to me, and that was like the biggest blessing ever to not have to deal with an actual hard cast. And we had this instead, which was highly cleanable, and it was just so nice for him to be able to take it off once in a while to just get some air in there. And for his poor little skin that started to dry out as it normally does with casts, it was not as bad with this type of cast. It has little vent holes in it to let air into the skin. It was so nice, and it healed up so fast. He actually already has the cast off at this point. He ended up getting it off on October 1st. So he had it on a little over a month. So it was actually less than even 6 weeks. So that was really nice for him. But yeah, so that was kind of like the highlight of that Wednesday. I had an appointment to take him, and the new season of Wednesday came out that day. So then I binge watched that, and it was just so fun. Such a good week. We did some house renovations. We got a lot of work done on our house. I do keep most of that private. I don't like to share photos of our house. So I do keep most of those photos kind of private here. I do have a photo up top on the 5th that we got our trusses delivered for that portion of our house that we were working on. And it was just exciting. It was an exciting week, and we got so much done. We also went to the tractor show. It's a twice a year event that we usually go to, and we really enjoy. My dad and my mom went on this day on Thursday. We went on Friday, but they went on Thursday, and my dad had been telling him for years, you need to rent a scooter. He has really bad hips and knees at this point, and he has a very hard time walking around, and I think he has way too much pride to rent a scooter. So thank God he finally this year listened and rented the dang scooter. And of course, my mom had to rent one along with him so he didn't feel left out. And they were racing through the flea market area. So they had a blast. And I was super happy that he finally swallowed his pride a little bit and rented the darn scooter to get around. There is no shame. He has a hard time walking. I keep telling him over and over, you need to just do it, and then you'll have a more enjoyable time, and you won't have to worry about anything. You won't have to worry about hurting later on. So that was kind of that day and that week, and just something fun we did. When I'm working on these spreads, I do try to go day to day, but I kind of hop around a little bit. Whatever idea comes into my brain at the time is kind of where I'm at working on this. So it probably takes me a little bit longer than it should working on one of these spreads, but I get it done in the end, and it's fine. I did use that cut apart page, as you can see, for the label that I put at the bottom of that photo. I'll come back to that cut apart sheet and make an interactive element a little bit later. I pulled out some Simple Stories collection here. This was one of the pet collections. I think it's called Pet Shop. And I pulled out the sticker book from that collection because I had some really cute little doggy stickers on here that I'm adding for this photo of myself and my puppy. And we just got her a few months ago in August, I think it was. I think we got her in August. So we've had her for a few months now. She's been a great little addition to our family, and we're very super happy to have a dog again. And it's just kind of bringing some joy to our family lately. So I'm just going to add a couple more things from this sticker book. I really like the little paw prints that are in here, so that's kind of what I was searching for. Found one to add right there. And I've got all these various stamps. The colors that I stuck to are Intense Black ink by Honeybee Stamps. That's my favorite go-to black ink at this time. And then the purple-ish one is called Seedless Preserves by Tim Holtz Ranger ink. It's one of the Distress Oxides. I prefer to stamp in these memory planner spreads with the oxides versus the inks. The inks are a little bit more transparent, and sometimes I find that the inks, for whatever reason, are a little bit more porous, so they kind of tend to soak into my paper in these thin memory planner spreads a bit more than the oxides do. So I don't know if it's just me. I'm kind of a hard stamper. I use a lot of pressure when it's probably not needed. So maybe that's part of my problem too. Maybe if you're a lighter stamper, you wouldn't have that issue, but I do prefer the Distress Oxides when I'm working in these little memory planner spreads. So another item from the Grab 5 that I'm using today is rub-ons. So I've grabbed some rub-ons by 49 and Market from a couple different collections. I'm using this little camera. A camera is actually another item on this Grab 5. So I've got, I think 6 different items instead of 5, but you know what, it's fine. You can do as many items as you want from the list. You can incorporate as many or as little as 5 to enter into the challenge. Most of the cherry challenges over on the Cherry on Top message boards, which is on the Cherry on Top website, have little giveaways and things that you can enter in if you participate. So all you have to do is create a project with those guidelines in that particular challenge, and then you can be entered to win those little giveaways as well. So we have our cherry challenge today. I have a few of my friends playing along, and their videos will be linked down below in my description, so you can hop along with their projects and see what they're playing with today. I know one of our people that usually participate is Sarah Scraps, and she is the lucky chosen one this month to be cherry lift of the month. So she's one of the challenges where we are scrap lifting her, and I think a couple of the girls are participating in that challenge for their projects today as well. I was going to go that route, but I kind of already had this pulled out before I saw her challenge and that she was featured, so I didn't end up doing that, but I will probably hop on board with that at some point this month if I can work that into my other projects. I have so much going on this month, between working on the house and school and just everything in general, design teams. I just have a lot going on, and I'm trying to put as much in as I can into these videos and my projects, trying to participate and kind of do a little bit of everything. I'm playing along with 30 Days of Sketches this month, where there is a full month. There's a daily sketch every day of the month. So that's with Christy's Beautiful Life over on Facebook. If you're interested, she has a new sketch every day, and I'm playing along with some of those. And then, of course, some of these cherry challenges as well that I'm trying to work into my design team projects. So I have some Heidi Swapp stuff here that I'm using. This little lock is actually from her, but it's like I thought it looked like a little shopping bag, and I don't know if it's actually a lock or a shopping bag, but I'm using it as a little shopping bag because I just think it's adorable and it works for either thing in my brain. So I stamped retail therapy on there, and then I had a photo of some bags that I had purchased, and they came in the mail that day. So I just slipped them in there and had a little topper that I put on there, and I just used my stapler to adhere the little ribbon at the top to make it look like little tissue paper poking out. I didn't like my little line that I drew on here with a pen, so I went ahead and just added some Nuvo glue and a little piece of black embroidery floss that's from the cherry shop, and then I'm gonna hide that top part and just make it like a little, kind of like a little bullet point or something, like the spider is coming down from that cute little adhesive brad from the Simple Stories collection. And then here's where I was talking about that cut apart sheet. I'm going to create a little interactive element with this little cut apart piece, and I'm just going to trim it down a little bit so it fits into my square. The squares in this particular album, this is not the big happy planner. This is like the standard size happy planner. So the boxes in this one are 1.5 inches by 2.5 inches tall. So it's kind of like an odd size as far as printing photos. I kind of had to like shrink them down a little bit and cut some of them off, but I usually take photos with a little bit extra in the photo or in the shot in case of cropping, so I was fine to do that. But if you're planning on going to this type of planner, just kind of keep that in mind whenever you're taking your photos. So I am just working this interactive element here. I decided to trim it down to the shape, and then I'm adding some vellum to create a nice little pocket to hold 2 of my photos from the tractor show that night. We actually stay and watch the steamer spool. I don't know if you guys know what a steamer is. It's like almost like a little train kind of, but they do like tractor pulls with them, and they have these burners or these ovens that they have to load constantly and feed the fire to get them going, and it's just so cool. They're really neat to watch and just kind of see them even just run in general or do anything in general. Sometimes they hook a cider press to the one, or they chop wood and make wood boards out of another one. It's really cool to just watch and see, and this antique tractor show has really grown, and I think this year was the most steamers that I have ever seen there. And at night they pull, and they kind of run across the runway where they do the tractor pulls, and they turn all the lights off in the place, and you can really see all the sparks that fly out of the smokestack, I guess it is, steam stack, I don't know what it's called, but it's just really neat to watch, and it's just really fun. So we got a chance to stay and watch that. We usually don't get a chance to stay that late, but they bumped it up a little bit earlier, so we got to stay with the kiddos, and nobody had fallen asleep yet, so we were pretty good. So I am just filling in just little bits and pieces at this point. I did grab the die cuts from this collection to add a little star there, and I'm going to grab some more stamps, I know, but first I'm going to grab these little faux stitches, and that's part of the challenge. Is one of the items on the grab 5 list is stitching, so you can add machine stitching, hand stitching, or faux stitching like this, where I'm just using these little stickers that are by Pretty Little Studio. I think some of these are still in the Cherry on Top store as well. I'm kind of, again, doing some stash diving. I've got a lot of different things here that I'm pulling into this. That's what I love about doing these spreads, is that I can pull so many things into my spreads and actually use some of my stamps, which is just something that I absolutely love to do, is stamping on layouts and projects like this. So I actually get to play with all my stamps whenever I do these, and I just love how these little pages come together and you can fit so many memories and journaling on just one little spread or project. I just love it. So this is probably my favorite project to work in, but I don't do enough of it. I really should do this more. These little stars are by Archer and Olive. We do have a bunch of their stuff in the Cherry on Top shop. Their items are very, very good quality. So you may spend a little bit more on them, but they are such good quality. And they have really, really nice little books and planners, and they just hold up so, so nice. And I've got that stamp set there. I'm using some from Simple Stories. I've got this little spooky stamp set, just finishing this off. Here's what the finished spread looks like. I absolutely love this one. I had so much fun after I figured out the new sizing and format in this book. It went fairly well, I think, and here's the close-ups. So make sure you hop along with the videos down below my description, and I'll link all the products I've used down below. Thank you guys. Bye-bye.